As INTPs, we can feel lost in life quite easily, and it's not that difficult to understand what it is when you look at our cognitive functions. So, as you can see, these are our functions: TI dominant, NI, NE parent, SI, FE, and then in our shadow side, and this is something that I feel like a lot of people don't pay attention to. Um, your TE, NI, SE, FI. So the main thing for me is NI, and this is in the inner critic location. And so what happens is you constantly question if you're on the right path, if you're doing the right thing, if you're making the right moves, if you're following the right plan, all of that. That's one reason that people feel lost generally as an INTP. Of course, we have TI and E as our two most dominant functions, and that means we can analyze things well, see lots of different pathways that we could explore. We can see many problems. We can identify and pluck apart many problems within a system, within a topic. So because you see many problems, because you're explorative and you can figure out many different ways in which you can tackle a problem, this TI-NE combination is both your biggest strength and a considerable weakness as well at times. Like I talk about a lot, it sort of leads to procrastination, and it leads to you not just seeing many ways that you could do something, but also many opportunities for failure as a result. Combine that with an inner critic that continually asks, like, am I on the right path? Am I doing the right thing? I believe INTP Survival Guide says this might be the worst inner critic to have because, again, you question yourself so much. Then there's also the thing that we are creatures of habit to a degree. We don't really like to get out of our comfort zone. And because we don't like to get out of our comfort zone, it's easy to sort of get stuck. For a lot of young people, I feel like in general, but also INTPs, they do a lot of like bed rotting, staying in bed, doing nothing, watching shows, filling your mind with interesting information by reading books, audiobooks, documentaries. That's all like fine, but you're gonna feel lost in life. And I'll get into why that is a bit more in the future. But again, this is our cognitive function stack, and this is an explanation. Not leaving your comfort zone means not having those moments where you go out into the world and something happens that shakes you up and it sort of recalibrates you and allows you to see this is what I'm supposed to focus on, right? It's easy to get stuck. I'll make a video about this, but I believe there's the TI-SI loop, continually analyzing and getting stuck in comfort that sort of inhibits you in a way, and it allows you to get into a rut. Now, FE can also be something that plays a part in feeling lost because conversations with other people can help you gain new insights and have those breakthrough moments in your life. But when you don't talk to people, that's not going to happen, right? Now you have your inner dialogue to a degree, but that's not as powerful as simply speaking to other people. And of course, there's reasons for this. I'm not saying go out and speak to many people for no reason, because you will likely feel that most people don't understand you, this and that. But again, just explaining to you why this may happen. Again, another way, and this is quite similar, is that TE is our adversary, I believe it's called, meaning we don't do a lot of action. And action is also just like talking to people or going out into the world and having like moments of synchronicity or whatever. You can get new insights or breakthroughs by doing something. If you just start on something that you know you're supposed to do, you can get the clarity that you need to know how to get it done. If you don't know what you want with your life, do something and see if it works for you. Because you're so analysis dominant, you don't really do that, and that's something to be wary of. You could say the same thing for SE, like being in a moment, being present, being alive, being there, being like sensing things around you. Again, those moments are also moments of breakthrough potentially, but I don't want to necessarily fill in something for every cognitive function. But it can be something that take place. And one other important thing that I feel like happens when it comes to feeling lost in the world, feeling nihilistic or whatever, is this FI demon, where when you sort of go through life not the way you want it to be, which goes for most people, but also most INTPs, and that builds up, then you can start telling yourself that this world is evil, this world isn't made for you. What's the point? This and that. You can sort of get resentful towards the world as a whole for not being made for you per se, right? And I can get into that logically, and then I'll tell you that the world has no obligation to shape itself in a way that is best for you. But simply take this into account, okay? You can start to feel resentful, and that only leads you to feeling more lost, because feeling unlost, feeling well, usually requires the following. It requires a purpose. I've tried to add and draw this layer in there. It's not done very well, but whatever. It's your purpose. If you have something to do throughout the day, throughout your life, whatever, things become easier. I've shown you before this pyramid of procrastination, productivity, performance, and play. The reason is that once you have something you need to do, whether that's, again, your grand purpose, the reason that you're here on this earth, your ikigai, or just, I need to get something done, you're gonna then have multiple levels of struggle, which is fine, which is human. You need to solve your procrastination, you need to solve your productivity, and increase your performance. Because when you do that, you can get to play. And there's basically two main elements here. First of all, play. Play is about you. Like, I wish for you a life where you can simply do things you enjoy doing. And for an INTP, that is analyzing things, breaking them down, exploring concepts, theory, finding problems, and to a degree also solving them, right? Or at least figuring out what solution would work. That is a lot of fun to me, right? And so that is when I feel like I'm in flow. That's where I feel like I'm playing. That's the ultimate goal. But there's also, all the way at the bottom, your purpose. What are you working on? What are you trying to get done? Now, a lot of us are stuck in things we don't truly enjoy doing, because if we just did the things we do enjoy doing, we couldn't earn a living. Like, it's that simple. But first of all, I promise you, now is the best time ever for an INTP to simply stand on their own and live autonomously, because starting a business in whatever niche or sector or whatever has never been more possible. But regardless, if you feel stuck, you want to find two things. You want to either lose yourself in a moment, but not in destructive habits. In other words, with play. And if you can combine that, if you can build play on top of a certain purpose, on top of a mission, on top of something bigger than yourself, then you're set. So if I were to boil this down into like a step-by-step guide for those who are feeling really lost as INTPs, I'd say find your purpose. And I guess the best way to find your purpose is to use the Ikigai model. Let me see if I can find an image to display that to you. So I have a book right here called Ikigai, The Japanese Secret to a Long and Happy Life. And it basically explains a couple of things about healthy living, but mostly the following model. This is it. And Ikigai, your Ikigai, I believe it translates to something like the reason for getting up in the morning, or just your purpose, your reason for being. Your Ikigai is where four circles meet. It's where love, mastery, moral good, and money meet. In other words, what am I good at? What does the world need? What can I be paid for? And what do I love doing? If you just find something that you love doing and that you're good at, it's your passion. If you find something you're good at and that the world needs, it's your love. I think this is wrong. If you find something that you love doing and that you make money with, that's your career. If you find something that the world needs and that you can make money with, that's your vocation. If you find something that meets all of these, that's your ikigai. So again, if you can find that here, then stop procrastinating on it. Get productive on it. Increase your performance. You can get to this level of play where you both really enjoy the process, plus you are working towards an important destination, right? If your ladder is up against the wrong wall, there's no point in climbing it, even though the process of it climbing it can be fun, can be playful. If you can combine these two outer elements of this 5P pyramid, you're set. Now you might ask yourself, but what about love, relationships, this and that, people, personal well-being, mental health, blah, blah, blah. Why just this focus on this occupational realm of life? And the reason for that is quite simple. No matter how isolated you are and how lonely you feel, if you do your work truly and conscientiously, unknown friends will come and seek you. The quote doesn't have to necessarily be about work per se, but let me explain what I think when I read this. I don't want to be friends with people that don't understand me, that don't understand my ideas, that don't even care about, the secrets of the universe or social topics or psychological and personal development. I don't even want to be friends with people. If I simply go on this journey of self-actualization, if I can climb this pyramid, get to a point of play, get to a point where I'm really good at what I do, and what I do is something important, then naturally people will gravitate towards me. If I can master something that helps make the world a better place, that allows me to make money, and that I love doing, that I love the process of, then basically automatically I'll meet like-minded people and I'll, despite my introversion, want to spend time with them. People often say INTPs are some of the most introverted of all of the personality types, and I can resonate with that. I believe I'm 92% introverted. But my ikigai is known to me. It will change over the times. I might have multiple, a different one every decade of my life, whatever. But I know what I want to master, what I want to get good at, what I want to make money with. I know what I want, right? And just following this path, following my own path in this, has allowed me to meet friends, to meet like-minded people that I do naturally, without forcing myself, without someone telling me to do it, want to engage with socially, have interactions with, even in group settings. Of course, mostly like one-on-one, but even in groups, I can just not be the shy, observant fly on the wall almost. If you do your work, and if you follow your heart, if you follow your life's mission, you will simply meet new people that you don't even know of as of right now that can become your friends. So if your life as an INTP consists of your occupational life, your personal life, and your relationships, or your relational life, the way you get good or content or happy in the occupational life is what I've outlined, this and this. If you can do that, then as a result, your personal well-being will be high. You will be healthier, less stressful, etc., less stuck in procrastination. And your relational life will also sort itself out. For different personality types, it might be different, but I feel like this may apply to more than just INTPs. But for me, if you can just figure out your purpose, stop procrastinating on it, get productive, increase your performance, you can get to a level of play on an important ikigai, and then you're just set for life. Because again, if you look back at the personality, your cognitive functions, you want to find something you can lose yourself in, TINE it into death. Can be the same exact mission all your life. You can stay in the comfort zone, that's fine. You don't have to get hypersocial. You can just get good at solving problems, understanding problems, and coming up with solutions in whatever sector, realm, branch, niche, business type, organization type, whatever. If you can just get this done, you're set. You're no longer lost in life. Easier said than done. This is a long process. This is an iterative process. It will take time, but if you can get it done, if you want help with if you want my help with this, I'll leave a link below. You can join my community, which is for INTPs only, where we talk about this exact thing, and where I'll have a ikigai training in the future. What are INTPs good at? What are they prone to master? How can you figure out what do you find morally good? How can you make money? How do you love doing what you do? Or how do you find what you love doing? All of it. I'll have a training on that in the future. If you want to speak to me personally in a one-on-one call, that's also possible. Don't be shy. That will be the first link. And then the second link will be the community I just mentioned. If you want to eliminate your procrastination, if you want to get productive, reach out to me. I can help you for sure. That was it for this video. Hope it was helpful. If you feel like I talk too much about procrastination, productivity, that sort of realm, feel free to let me know. I have plenty of other topics to talk about, but that was it for this video.